guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my Bella Football. Back again with another story. We'll be talking about the top 6 teams in England. We'll be looking at the expectations that they have going to a new season. By the way, already the preseason has already started. Arsenal were in the field last night. They played against Nuremberg. Fortunately, they won. They won a game. They got it. In fact, they scored 5 goals. Their new signing, Gabriel Jesus, scoring a brace. And so they are doing it well. They've already started the preseason at a high note. So we'll be looking at the top 6 teams. We're starting by looking at the table, looking at the first team that scored the highest point and even scored the Premier League title. Then we look at the second team, that is Liverpool. So we also look at Chelsea. We look at Totenham Hotspurs. We look at Manchester United. So we'll be looking at these teams and look at how they've strengthened and probably where they will rather want to strengthen. We start with Manchester City. Manchester City have signed 2 important players for now. They've signed Erling Haaland from Borussia Dortmund. They've also signed Calvin Phillips from Leeds United. And if you ask me, those 2 signings are significant to that team, and they've strengthened their team, because we already know that Manchester City is a team that has depth. It is a team that has actually thrived through the depth that they already have. You'll find that if one player is injured, you will find that there is another player that always replaces an injured player. So you remember last season when Ruben Diaz had some injuries, you had Stones who was covering for him, and then you also have Laporte who also cover for him. Sometimes when there's a partnership between Diaz and Stones, Laporte always sit on the bench, and when there's a partnership between Laporte and Diaz, Stones always sit on the bench. So they have options. They have been having some options. And when Kyle Walker was having some problems, we could have someone come in for Kyle Walker, and also Cancelo could also play on the other side. So Manchester City is a team that has a proper backup. So far, they've signed 2 players, which in fact 3. They have signed 2 strikers. One is from South America by the name Alvarez, who have joined the club. So they will be having a striker this season, because last season they played without an in and out striker, because they could even play Raheem Sterling as a false 9. They could play Kevin De Bruyne as a false 9. Sometimes they could play Gabriel Jesus, but he was not that striker that was the main point. I mean, the real number 9, the real traditional number 9. So we will be expecting them to change on how they play next season, because they've not been having a striker for the last 3 seasons. Aguero was there, but he was not used consistently when he started having some injuries. So we'll be expecting them to change how they play. So we look at Manchester City and some of the expectations that they have next season. According to me, the only thing that I think Manchester City have not done now is to win the Champions League. That is the only prize they are going to be looking for. It is the only prize they are going for next season. And they've already won the Premier League 4 times in the last 5 years. So they've done it all in the Premier League. In fact, they've done it all in domestic titles, because there's a season that they scooped all the domestic titles. And so the only trophy they haven't won is the Champions League. And I'm expecting them next season to go for a Champions League trophy. Remember last season, they were in a verge of going to the final, but they lost to Real Madrid the last minutes. So we expect them this season, they would have already learned their lesson and they will get to the final and actually try to win it, because they will be going to the final for the second time. We know very well that it's very hard for a team that comes to the final for the first time to at least go and win the Champions League. But now, going to the next season, going by the signing that they've already signed, we expect them to be going further and winning the Champions League. So you look at Kevin Phillips. Kevin Phillips is a player, is a defensive midfielder that will come in and at least offer some boost to their defensive midfield, because Fernandinho has left the club and Rodri has been there, has been playing that role very well. We expect that when Kevin comes in, he will be able to be a backup for Rodri. Rather, he will help, he will fill in the position that has been left by Fernandinho. They also expected to be signing Marco Kurela from Brighton. So I think that is the signing that they are going to be going for after selling Nathan Ake. Apparently, Nathan Ake has agreed personal terms with Chelsea, so we'll be expecting Nathan Ake to be leaving the club, and they will be replacing Nathan Ake with Marco Kurela. So Manchester City have been busy, and the only thing that I like about Manchester City and the whole technical team of Manchester City is that they always do their business very early. They always make sure that if they have an intention of a player and they would like to sign a player, they always go for that player early enough so that they can go, so that that player joins the team in a pre-season. That helps a manager to understand how he's going to integrate those players so that they can produce the kind of goals that they want for the season. This is the only problem that most of the teams don't realize. They don't realize that Manchester City and Liverpool always do their business very early. They always identify most important players at the early stage of the season to help their team to integrate with these new players so that they can produce one team that is going to compete very highly. Let's go to Liverpool and look at how they're handling their business going to the next season. Liverpool have gone for two important players. They've gone for Nunes Darwin. They've also gone for Fabio Cavallo. Is it Fabio? Someone Cavallo. And so, but the most important signing that they've gone for is Nunes Darwin. Nunes Darwin is a striker that is expected to be replacing Sadio Mane, and he's a guy who is young, but he has a lot of prospect. You look at him, he's someone who has an eye for goal. He's someone who can score important goals. He's someone, when given a chance, he can be a top scorer of that team. So look at how he's going to bolster the attack, because we have Salah, we have Diaz, and we also have Jota. So in that attack, he's going to boost the attack. So I think it's a good signing for Liverpool, and they're going to be a force to reckon going to next season. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea haven't signed any player so far. They haven't confirmed any player. It has always been close to signing some player, close to signing Rafinha, close to signing Sterling, close to be signing. They've agreed personal terms with each and every player, but they haven't signed any player. And Chelsea is one team that has a lot of problems, because Chelsea has let so many players leave that club. They've let defenders leave the club, they haven't replaced them. They have left Lukaku leave the club, they haven't replaced him. And the problem with Chelsea is that they always do their business very late. This makes players who come in have difficulty in trying to integrate with the team. And this is the problem. Because when you look at Chelsea, they haven't replaced such defenders who have left the club. They haven't replaced Rudiger. They haven't replaced Christensen. They haven't replaced the likes of Azpilicueta, who are rumored to be leaving the club. So the whole backline is in a shamble. Because when you look at the only non-defender that is left at Chelsea, it's only Thiago Silva. So the expectation of Chelsea fans is that they are going to be doing good business, so that they bring in players who are going to replace those players who have already left the club, so that they can integrate during the pre-season and produce good results. I solely believe that the problem that Lukaku had with Chelsea is that Lukaku joins the club very late. He was not able to integrate with the team so that he can understand how the team plays and understand the philosophy of the manager and how he wants him to play. So that is where the problem came in. Lukaku came in and found that the team had already played some important games. So there was that fluidity of the team that the team used to play with. And now Lukaku came in with new demands. He wanted to be served the ball, which was different from how the team was used to play. You remember the team that won the Champions League? It was an exchange between Werner and Mason Mount and Kai Havertz that made them to try to beat Manchester City at the final. So you look at that team, it was playing different from how Lukaku was demanding or how Lukaku wanted to be served. So it was very difficult for Lukaku to come in and try to gel with the team. So one of the lessons that Chelsea hierarchy should learn, they should learn to be doing business as early as before the preseason starts, so that every player that comes in will be in a position to gel with the team and understand how the team plays even before the season starts. So we go to Tottenham Hotspurs. Tottenham Hotspurs has been a team that has been spending so much in this transfer season. So far, they've signed five players. They've signed Ivan Perisic from Inter Milan. They've signed Lenglet from Barcelona, Clement Lenglet from Barcelona. They've signed Yves Bissouma from Brighton. They've also signed Richarlison from Liverpool, no, from Everton, and I think they've done four important signings so far. And when you look at Tottenham, it's a very dangerous team. Actually, when you look at Tottenham and kind of the business that they're doing, these business are the business that they needed to do. They've bolstered their attack. They've done some business in their defense. They got a goalkeeper. I think they got Benfest a goalkeeper. They got a goalkeeper also. So they've done 5 good signings, and they've added 5 good signings to their team, and they've done their business so early. This is one of the things that Chelsea should learn. They should learn to be doing their business so early, because when you look at Tottenham, they've already finished their business so early. So when the manager goes to the preseason, he will go with the players that he has already signed, and he will be able to start, or he'll be able to sell that plan that he has for the team to the new players, so that they can be able to gel with the players that are already at Tottenham. To me, Tottenham is going to be a very tough team to beat next season. In fact, Tottenham is going to be a very hard team to beat, going by the history of their manager, who has a history of consolidating a very strong team, gathering his troops and doing it. I'm very sure that Tottenham is going to be a very tough team next season. So we get to Arsenal and look at Arsenal, how they've tried to strengthen their team. Arsenal have signed 2 important players. They've signed Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City, who is doing very well. Remember yesterday, he scored a brace in a match that they won 5-3. He was there and he was in a scoring sheet, and he scored 2 important goals. So we look at how he's already hit the ground running, and it's a sign that Arsenal are also heading to the right direction. So they've signed a midfielder from Porto by the name Fabio Vieira, and they're also expected to be signing a defender. I'm not very sure whether they're going to be signing Martinez from Ajax, but they're looking for him. They were also expected to be signing Rafinha. Unfortunately, that deal didn't happen. And the other thing that they're expected to be doing, they might also go for Gnabry from Bayern Munich, since money has already arrived at Bayern. So we will be expecting that Gnabry will be leaving the club come the end of this season. Come the end of this transfer window. So if they manage to get Gnabry to their side and also get one defender, or rather get a defender by the name Martinez, they will also be a very strong team. And the other thing that I can commend Arsenal is that they've already done their business so early. So in their preseason already, their main guy by the name Gabriel Jesus has already started doing some good bits. So that helps him to gain some confidence, helps the player to gain some confidence. Scoring some goals in the preseason. In preseason, that is where you try so many things. So with Gabriel Jesus being at the preseason, he's been able to learn and understand how his teammate plays. So he will be in a position to start a season very strong. So that is something that each and every team should learn. They should be making their business early. They should be doing their business early. And according to my understanding, is that look at these 3 teams. That is Manchester City, Liverpool, and Tottenham Hotspurs. Those are the teams to watch next season. These are the teams that have already done their business so early. They've already sold the plan to their players on how they would be playing next season. So we expect them to be doing marvelous. We expect them to to have gelled come to the next season. We will expect that the first game of the season, these new players who have already been brought to these teams, they will have already understood on how the manager wants them to play. So when you look at that, you will understand the project that these managers are trying to sell to their club. And I'm also seeing Arsenal is trying to follow suit. So it's something that Chelsea and Manchester United should learn from, because no one has signed for either teams. We look at Manchester United; they've been rumored to be signing De Jong from Barcelona, but the deal hasn't happened. The only deal that is close to be happening is Ericsson from Brentford, and also they haven't signed any player so far. Chelsea have also not signed any player. They have been rumored to be signing Sterling from Manchester City, rumored to be signing the lead from Juventus, but the deal hasn't happened. So look at Chelsea. The preseason has already started, but they haven't signed any player. How are these players going to gel with the players that are already existing in the club? So it's a problem. It's a problem. It's something that Chelsea and Manchester United should learn from. These are the teams who have already done their business so early. They've already started their preseason with their new players. It's something that they should learn. Look at Manchester United now. It is a team that needs an overhaul. It is a team that should change their ambition. It is a team that should have an ambition to win titles. And now they're having a tarmac because Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't joined them in a preseason tour to Thailand and Australia. He's rumored to be having some personal issues or some family issues. He hasn't joined them to the team, and he has even asked to leave the club because he would want to play for He want to play for a team that plays in Champions League. So you look at that team; it's a team that is lacking leadership. Because if Ronaldo wants to leave a club that apparently he has love for, apparently he came to accomplish some things, he came to do some unfinished business, to help that team to win important trophies, or to help that team to regain its glory days. And now he wants to leave the same club. It seems there's a problem in Manchester City. So Ronaldo will be expected to leave the club, join any club that plays for Champions League. He is rumored to be wanting to exit Manchester United, or to be exiting Manchester United to go to a team that plays for Champions League. Apparently, Bayern are not expecting to be welcoming him there. Chelsea are interested to be. Chelsea are actually entertaining his deal. So if he joins Chelsea, maybe he will be in a position to bolster the attack, and also they've actually signed Manchester United have signed a left back by the name Tyrell Malacia, who is going to be boosting their left hand side, or their left back side. So we well know that their left back side is always played by Luke Shaw and Alex Telles. So that is an addition to their team, and I'm not sure how good is Tyrell Marel, how good is Tyrell Malaysia, and I'm very sure that Eric Ten Hag is someone who has already understood how he wants to go on with this plan, and him bringing Tyrell Malaysia in his club, he knows that whatever that is there is going to be, or he's going to be a boost to whatever that is already there. So look at Manchester United and the ambition that they have. It is questionable a bit because no big player would want to join Manchester United. De Jong is rumored to be saying that he would want to remain at Barcelona. He don't want to leave Barcelona to come to Manchester United. And also, some of the players that Manchester United are expecting to be signing, some of them are rumored to be saying that they do not want to join a team that doesn't play for Champions League. That is the same thing that is making Cristiano Ronaldo leave Manchester United, because you look at Manchester United doesn't play for Champions League, and that is something that scares away so many players. They want to play in a big stage. Champions League is one of the big stages that they want to play. According to me, this is my prediction. Next season is going to be a tough season, and I expect either Manchester City or Liverpool to win the title, either Chelsea or Tottenham to finish third, and also look at Arsenal and Manchester United to compete for the top 5 spot. Thank you so much for watching my video. Wish you all a nice weekend. Please comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much.